What are you up to, cat? What are you up to? You was crazy. Hey guys, welcome back. I meant to turn this on to show me cutting this, but then forgot because I was watching something. So, um, and the cat's bug. So, at least I remembered halfway through. Hold on. Where's my other pad? Okay, got our monitor. Hey, excuse me. We need a thing to listen to. Hold on a second. No, I can't find it. Just disconnecting this earbud. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna have the cat is gonna be hanging out with us this whole time because this is pretty much her table. When I don't use the table, Kitty runs the table. She runs the table. One second. Make sure earbuds are all okay. Connected to the right. Dude, please. There's no room. There's no room. No room. No room for cats. No room. Especially with a cat there. You're so shitty, dude. The only one of the positives for actually getting a studio, unless you have a cat in your studio, you keep a cat in your studio, is that you don't have to deal with the cat hair. Yes, cat hair. Holy selfies. How's it going? How is it going? How's it? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Hey, you. Please. She's back. She is back. So I'm just cutting out this stencil. So I didn't do this online. Oh, hey, Pre. I should have recognized it. You changed your name. Sir Cutesy, handsome. Are you talking about Kitty? Miss Kitty? Welcome, Siren. Thank you for joining us. As I was saying, I traced out my outline that I did in the big fat mop marker. Oh, no worries. You don't have to apologize, Siren. People come and go as they please. Thank you for the likes. You're well. Hope you are too. Yeah, I'm doing good. It's a pretty decent day out there. A little overcast, but the sun's trying to push its way through the clouds. The temperature is pretty good. Not too hot, not too cold. Um, please, kitty, kitty, kitty. Mm, mm. Let's open the window up a little bit more, so maybe the cat will hang out in the window instead. Hey, Nova Vargas, thank you for joining. You said hi on me. Thank you. We welcome new people. Hope you're having a great day. I'm working on cutting out this stencil. So as I was saying, I outlined my fat line with a white pencil, so I kind of had an idea of what I needed to cut. If my cat Kira will let me cut this in piece, not in pieces. Hey, she just wants to ram me, butt heads. She likes the bop. She likes the bop. Oh man, come on. Hey, Bopperoni. Miss, jeez Louise, come on. All right, there we go. You said it's hell in Turkey. It's very cold. Ooh, cold day in Turkey. Nobody likes cold turkey unless you're trying to quit something. Cold turkey. Fix my man loaf. I have the top down view today so you can see what I'm cutting. Nova says not Vagris. Didn't I say Vagras? Why does your cat keep walking back and forth? Because she wants my attention. She's a very attention seeking cat. So and like I said, when I'm not using the table, she likes to hang out on that table. So it's kind of her spot. All right, we're fixing the hair so it's not all wild. And what else? Oh, yeah, I need some hand lotion. My hands are kind of dry. Let's see, hand lotion. Oh, cat. We'll keep that nearby just in case. Watch out, please. I can't see the chat. Oh, was gas. Is that the actual pronunciation? You got to help us. There are many ways to pronounce things, so you got if there's a specific way you want it pronounced, you got to let us know. But we appreciate you joining us. All right, Kat. Well, I just put that hand lotion on. So I hope it doesn't make the little pieces of tape I'm using. So as I go along, I'm trying to make sure I keep this stencil that I cut in place because I don't want it to go anywhere until it's where I need it to be on the thing I want to make this or use the stencil for. Cat, do I need to move? I need to move my chat because the cat wants to stand right in front of it. Move, please. Oh, you heard me say firegrass? So is heaven hot and hell cold? It could be either way. What was gas? Well, the way it's spelled makes me want to pronounce it way different than it actually is pronounced. We'll just call you Nova so I don't screw it up again. You said my parents keep buying fat ass oranges. Is there something wrong with that? Are they like tasteless? Tasteless? Tasteless oranges? Or you just don't like citrus? Not a fan. Sorry, I take these breaks because the cat wants me to hold her and pet her. And if I don't give her any attention, she'll just come back up on the table. But she'll do that anyways. They're bigger than your own head. Wow. Stop. As long as they're tasty, or you just can't eat the whole entire thing. All right, yep. We go along and we make these little shortcuts and then tape. So I already did one of these last night, so I have this one to finish and then two others. We'll see. We'll see how many of these we can actually get done. Be nice to get them all done today, so I can then focus on doing some illustrations. You said we pray to the cat, we pray to the cat, we pray to the cat. In some places, cats are pretty revered creatures. Let's see. Okay. You said, so like what's the context behind this? Like the imagery or what I'm actually doing? Like why am I doing this? If it's why am I doing this, it's so that I can here. I don't know if you've seen any of my last few streams, but I use these stencils for this. So you could see uh, the form here is what gets painted in, and then I outline it with paint pens. So I don't hand do these. Your eyes have been blessed. I'll show you the other one I did. So I have two of these so far. I actually have one I did a long time ago, but that's not here with me. So you can see how they get laid out. So I use spray paint to do the inner form or line, and then I outline it with paint pens on a painted background. Thank you. I appreciate that, Simon. So I want to do a series of these just because I've had it in my head to do these for a long time. And last fall, when it was nice, and I was able to paint out in the garage, I did 6 of those canvases, just doing the backgrounds, like abstract stuff for the background. And knowing that I was going to do these line pieces on top of that. So I want to make sure that I follow through this year with that plan. And we're not doing too bad, too, so far. I finished since it's warmed up enough for me to go work out in the garage. Looks kind of like Mickey Mouse. Yeah, that's the cool thing about them, since they're just kind of uh, just random kind of twists and turns. I'm not really spending a whole lot of time thinking about um, what it's supposed to look like, other than just laying out the line into some form or composition. But it to me, it's like looking at clouds and seeing stuff in imagery in the clouds. It's like you can see whatever you see in these lines, and I don't think it's wrong. You said your friends keep sending you TikTok videos. Just don't respond to the TikTok videos. Yeah, my wife loves TikTok. Well, I don't know if she loves it, but she follows it. She's always scrolling on TikTok. Oh, and I also have this. So I know I was supposed to be working on the goat picture, but I have this canvas that I started a while ago, and I thought maybe before I try to hit that big project, I'll do something small since I had this laying around. So it's some figures. It's the Oni and the child, and then I have a what do they call it? The two-tailed Neko. I can't remember what they call that. I think I need to redo it a little bit, but it's not too bad. But I have some other things I want to add to it. But I figured, yeah, this will be the next painting that I focus on after I do these get these stencils done. But I also have some other illustration projects that need to get done. This activity book, I have 4 more pages to do. And I've been working on the first of the 4. So there's a lot of things on my plate I want to do um, in this month. Be nice to get all this done, um, and maybe more by the end of April. I mean, we're still into March, but March is almost over. So yeah, we're just okay. We got one of the 3 line forms in this done, and then I did that little teeny bit there. Um, let's do this one here. So you can see this is made out of like kind of just generic brown. It's almost like the same thing brown paper bags are made out of. It comes in a roll. You buy it at the home supply stores. It's used for laying down on floors when you're painting rooms, so you don't get paint on your nice floor. But I use it for the stencils. We'll see. It's not the only material that you can use to cut stencils out of. There are probably better materials, but I like to go the cheap route. The cheap, less expensive route sometimes, especially if I'm spending a little bit more money on the paint that I use, then I want to, if I can get away with it elsewhere, spending less money elsewhere, because I don't buy everything from the art supply store. There are things that you can get cheaper that are pretty much the same thing that you could get at the art store. They just somebody just turns it into a product and marks up the price because they know there are people out there that don't. They're new to art making or whatever it is they do. So if they can make money off of people like that, which is there's nothing wrong with that, you know. It's convenience. That's what it is. They have all the supplies in one spot for artists, but eventually you get tired of spending tons of money on things you can find workarounds for. Like they sell containers that you can put stuff in. It's like, especially in this society, American society, where there's an abundance of items, you can make do with. I don't know. I use takeout containers. Um, for my acrylic palettes, for putting acrylic paint into. Even that might seem like a luxury for some folk. And it is, because not everybody can eat out. But we do here and there, and we end up with these containers, and I just don't want to toss them out when I know I can use them, repurpose them. And we paid for it. We paid for all of that. We paid for the food and the containers that it came in. Plus, the art store, art material store will sell you a plastic palette. It's just a piece of plastic. Maybe it has a lid on it. Maybe it has special materials in it to keep your paints from drying out. You can always find pretty much the same materials and make it yourself. What are they? Stay wet palette is what they call them for acrylic painters. Yep. When you have a limited budget, you can't always rely on art stores because they are a business and they want your money, which is fine. You don't necessarily have to give them all your money. That's why I save anything I can save from not having to buy certain art supplies. I can put towards the paint that I want or prefer. Some people don't care, which is fine. You don't always have to have a particular type of or brand of paint. I just know what I prefer when painting, and I don't go through a lot of paint. I feel like if I went through a lot of paint, maybe I'd be more like concerned with how much I spend on paint or care about the quality of the paint, because I would be going through it so quickly. And I think about things like uh, archival quality, like how long, if you do these things, how long will your painting last based on the materials you use. Now, if you do digital art, you probably don't have to worry about that unless you're printing off whatever the digital art is. But if it's something like video or animation, you don't really have to worry about that. How we doing, guys? Thanks for all the likes. We got 6 thumbs up. We're like 1 or 2 away from our average for our live streaming. So thank you. Thank you again, everybody that's come through and clicked on that like button. So I am here. Okay. I never do this, but I always forget to introduce myself. And maybe that would help my channel a little bit more. I go by Omizu Paintz. It's just the name that I chose for when I used to do a little bit of graffiti. And even if I do now, even if I only just do style writing type stuff, that's what I write. So I figured I'd use it from my channel name. Made sense. Here, let me show you guys. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about with the style writing. I gotta break it out though. I have to break it out. This is what I'm talking about. Now, this is not Omizu. This does not say Omizu. I don't know if you guys can figure out what it says. I'm not going to say because it is for somebody. Hey, Sabrina's Suburban Garden. Thank you for joining us. Yes, you said good afternoon. Thank you. And you also. Hope you're doing well. So, yeah, this is kind of, and this is also done with stencils. And then I use paint pens. That's kind of where I got the idea to do these more abstract looking pieces. So yeah, there's still some work I have to do on this. You know, you can see I'm adding little darker reds in this red areas to make this like forms pop out a little bit or seem a little bit more dimensional. Okay, but yeah, so that's some of the stuff I kind of get into doing. A friend of mine got me these, and he got them. He bought them on the cheap from somebody else, but they're little um, HO scale box cars or freight cars to do stuff on. And I haven't tried to do anything on any of these yet, because I've been watching some other people on YouTube who do similar things, and they make their cars look aged. I would need something like an airbrush, which I don't have at this time. I thought about it, but I don't know if it's something I really need. I'm sure there are ways that I can age it without having to, or make it look aged without having to have an airbrush. But an airbrush would be nice to have. Okay. Okay. Keeps cutting. Keep on cutting. So yeah, I'm just kind of loosely eyeballing because the white lines are sometimes thick in certain areas. So I just want to make sure the line is not the cut line is not too shaky. So I want to make sure that I just do a fluid cut and not hatch it up. And Kitty is back. Oh, Kitty wants some attention. Kitty, she wants some attention. Hey, this is cool. How's it going, Aquarius? Thank you for joining us. Yes, I am cutting out those line pieces to make my stencils. Oh, I forgot to show. So I doubled up on this and I spray tacked a thinner layer of the same kind of paint paper. It's just thinner than this top layer, because I want to see if that helps with not sticking too much to the canvas when I spray tack it, because it's got a smoother side to it than this. This is more like grocery store brown paper bag feel. Um, which, if you're looking for just simple materials to use to draw on, you're not too concerned with your paper or wanting high quality paper, you can get these rolls. This is kind of thin because I've used a lot of it already. But you can get these. It's usually about, I don't know, that thick when you get it. Not sure how many meters or square feet or yards it is. You can get those at the home supply store in the painting department. Probably for like, maybe under $5. Maybe it was like $5. But then this is the thinner stuff that I got. You can see there's a lot of it, and it's quite thin. It's almost like wrapping paper. Not quite butcher paper, but wrapping paper. It's thin, but it's smoother. And yeah, it's probably about $5. I don't know. I'm feeling great. Thank you, Aquarius. Is it the same thing that Amazon uses? Yeah, it might be. It might be slightly thinner, but it's about the same. Yeah, and that stuff's good too. If you just want something to draw on, if you get a lot of Amazon packages, I would reuse that paper, and I do save it for certain things, like when I don't want to use the rolled paper, and I have a bunch of that. Um, Especially when I was using it to test spray paint on, or um, uh, do the like pressing paper on the wet paint kind of thing. You know, just where I don't want to use good paper or high quality paper in that for stuff like that. Yeah, it's good to recycle or repurpose that stuff. But yeah, but the brown paper bag stuff, this is thicker. It does, when you roll it out, it does curl. As you could see, it has this curl to it. So if you're trying to work on it flat, you might have to put something on it overnight, some heavy stuff. But you're not too worried about that. Like for me, not so much. It's just kind of has one purpose, and that's all I need it for. And then, but as far as like the longevity of this, who knows? It might not hold up over years and years, but you never know. Depends on how well you maintain it. I mean, some people now you know. Okay. It's that GI Joe tagline: "Knowing is half the battle." For anybody that was a GI Joe fan or fanatic back in the 80s. At the end of each episode, they would have a PSA kind of thing, and their tagline at the end was "Knowing is half the battle." I watched it, but I wasn't a huge GI Joe fan. Watched a lot of those cartoons, but I wasn't like a huge nerdy fan of that stuff. But I liked cartoons. I liked watching cartoons when I was a kid. As you can see with my style, here's a piece I did in 2017. Um, what was it? Was it before? Or no, it was after. Okay, it was when Trump was running for the second time, and he ended up losing to Joe Biden, which led to all this mess we're dealing with now. But yeah, I have the Oni and the child sipping coffee and having some pastries, just hanging out. I don't know if people do that anymore, like at cafes and stuff. I when I was in my 20s, I used to go hang out at coffee shops and stuff like that. And this particular one has a posters of our now president, kind of done in a Shepherd Ferry style, and it was kind of a takeoff of Shepherd Ferry's Obama's Hope poster, but I did Trump, and I put Nope instead of Hope. You could see it cut off here, and then the NO here, and then I made it look like people were defacing it, putting graffiti and stuff on it, because it's him holding the microphone. And then this one, I made it look like somebody put Pickle Rick in his hand. Oh, this needs dusting for sure. So that was, you know, Rick and Morty is still pretty big back then. So, and then this is all painted except for these poster things are actual printouts. I print on my home printer, and I glued it to the surface. And then the Pickle Rick is actually a a painting I did on adhesive label, and then I just stuck it on there. And then everything else is either painted in acrylic on there or paint pen. So it's a little commentary of mine back when he was running for president the second time. I thought about doing another one, but we'll see. I like doing little political humor commentary pieces. I did another one. A friend of mine has it. He bought it. It was a canvas, um, like about 16 by 20 inches, and it's Trump. But I put Trump's head on um, the body of Fred Flintstone from the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon Flintstones, and he's waving his arms. And up above it says Obama, and with an exclamation, like he's yelling out Obama, like he always does. It's like dude hasn't been president for or what, 14 years, and he's still blaming Obama for stuff. I think that's hilarious. It's like, dude, everything that's happening now is on you, all on you, because you want, anything that he did in his first presidency, he wouldn't take responsibility for when he was out of office. You didn't see, well, maybe you did see Biden blaming Trump for things. We all probably did. But in that moment, that's the reality you have to deal with. You can't be like, well, pointing fingers. It's like, well, it's the thing you have to deal with now. That is our system. We elect a president, the head of this country, every 4 years. So because of that, it keeps this country kind of, what's the word? Kind of schizo, because there's never any consistency, especially when parties change. Even within the party, you know, it's almost like a popularity contest, and that's what, you know, the citizenry vote is. It's a popular contest, but it's also electorally a popularity contest too. But I won't go too deep into that. I'm just talking about things I don't know a whole lot about. I have an idea of, but I have no real understanding of. He said, I feel like they're laughing in the locker rooms together. Yeah. Yep, that's kind of the same thing. Yep. It's funny what YouTube holds for review. I believe they're all the same. Who has the biggest tea contest? Yeah, there are some people that, really want this to work, but then there are other people that have their own agendas, and then it does become that. Hey, Caitlin P is in the chat. Welcome, Caitlin, our moderator, has finally arrived. No worries, Kate. The chat is usually not that out of control. Okay, so we're getting. Sometimes when I just sit here rambling, it makes like this process. I think I screwed up a little bit. Yeah, I might have to go in here and tape that down and recut. How you doing today, Kate? Is it nice out for you? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Kate. I hope the same for you. We're just enjoying it's a pretty nice day. I'm assuming you might be getting similar weather, but whoops, might have to add a little bit more tape onto some of this stuff. We're almost to the end of our second piece on here. I can get a good position on this. And it's tape. I don't know if Pre's still in here, but hey, I saw that Don Drill tribute song you did, Pre. Or I listened to it. That's pretty good. That Suno program, that Suno app is so nice. Our friend Travis Prince, he does all his tracks with Suno, and he's got like over 100 songs. He did just over 100 songs last year. All his own original lyrics. I think that's cool. I mean, some people might have issues with AI, and I understand, but for people that don't have access to studio time and you know getting musicians together, especially if you have other obligations, and it's just kind of more like hobby type thing. But hey, there we go. I think it's cool. You can have your own music, listen to it. Like you might share it, but I feel like it's nice to be able to create that type of stuff without having to spend a crap ton of money recording, and you get a finished product. But I do get the whole part of what is that AI trained on, and whose material is it trained on, and is there a copyright kind of issue there? Thank you, Kate. Appreciate the good job, buddy. My latest Instagram post ended up using another one of Travis's songs just because it was available on Instagram. So that's cool. You get some airplay. and I have a track that kind of fits my post. I do enjoy the stuff that he writes, so it's good to see him be able to take his passion for writing lyrics. And he talks about this. He said he used to record, his stuff when he was a lot younger, but nowadays it's like, do you have the time? Because besides a 40-hour a week job and also trying to paint, um, I mean, where would you find the time to all of a sudden, like, get together a crew, record music? Especially when you're older, everybody's got new new obligations, family stuff, uh, tendency to uh, kind of move away from one another as far as friends and family, and move on to new things, new places. So yeah, I don't think the AI stuff will go away. As far as art, AI and art's concerned, I don't think actual artists have anything to worry about. Um, I did have my own little experience though with AI art when it came to um, and I haven't heard anything since, but another potential book project where I was sketching those dragons, and the author of this particular project, I don't think they were feeling my sketches. So what they did was they in AI generated an image of what they kind of envisioned. And I think I told this before on a previous stream, but I don't know if I elaborated as much, but or at least it fits this context of AI. Me talking about AI. She generated an image of a dragon that kind of fit what she envisioned, and then sent it to the publisher, and the publisher um, sent it to me and said they want something like this. And I'm like, well, if they already generated it and it's what they envisioned, why do they need me? Is what I wrote back to the publisher, and he kind of agreed. I know he wants, as a publisher, you're trying to get jobs, so you might overlook certain things. But like when your artist is a contractor and they can choose what to uh, sign up for, um, you can't really argue with that person if they don't want to create something that's already pretty much created, especially if it looks like other other artists' work. And this definitely had a Studio Ghibli look, but more Western dragon. So it's like, she has this. Why did they need me? Why do you need me to draw something that you can already create in AI that looks like somebody else's artwork? Why would I go and do somebody else's artwork? But that's what he relayed back to her. And then we thought, or at least I thought, that was the end of it. But she got back to him and she was like, oh, no, 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 no. I just want kind of like this coloration, you know, is what he told her and what he relayed back to me. And I'm like, okay, as long as it doesn't have to be looking like an anime style dragon, which I'm not going to do that anime look because I'm not trained in that and I'm not interested in learning to draw anime, even though my stuff is inspired or influenced somewhat by anime. I want it to be my own thing. Plus, I'm already influenced enough by the stuff I like. I don't want I don't want to be looking like it. More stuff that I already see out there. All right. Thank you guys for the 9 likes. We have hit our average likes for our live streams. So I really appreciate it. Hey, even just 1 like is good enough. Even if I got no likes, I guess it wouldn't matter because I would still do this. I would still be doing this. I would still be doing this live with no likes. But it definitely feels good when you see likes. Uh, the like tally grow. But it's not, it doesn't affect or make much of a difference in the fact that I would still live stream this. Either way, likes or no likes. I'm surprised I don't get more dislikes. Nobody dislikes my stuff. If they do, I don't know if I see it or if I have it set for people to see. I mean, if people didn't like it, that would be fine. But I think for YouTube, they want to see the likes more than dislikes. Because I feel like they want channels to grow, but they want channels to grow in the way they want to see them grow, and why certain content creators may have an issue with their stuff or live streams being seen based on the algorithms, which is a kind of gatekeeping in a way, because the algorithm is controlling who sees your content based on if you're following particular guidelines or not. I know a lot of YouTubers, I'm guilty of it, are always talking about this subject, as well as AI, but it's a part of the zeitgeist, I guess. What we are experiencing in this day and age. Ooh, we're getting close, guys. I feel like I need some better footwear, though, if I'm going to do more standing. These house slippers just don't cut it. Hey, thank you. One more like. We got 10. We're in double digits. I appreciate you guys coming and checking out what I'm doing. listening to me ramble, or maybe you got it on mute. You don't have to listen to me. You could just watch the process, which is, I'm not here to teach art. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat, and I will certainly share my wealth of knowledge as far as working with materials and processes. But I'm not going to be making any kind of tutorials anytime soon. So if that's what you're looking for, I'm sorry. I know there are plenty of YouTubers out there doing similar things that do that kind of content. And I am glad that they do so that I don't have to. You can just, this is how I actually learned. And I didn't go to art school. I don't think at the time my parents had the money. Maybe they would have if I really pushed, but I didn't want to burden them with more bills or debt. But education is important, but there are more ways than one to educate yourself and stay informed. But then they call those people anarchists because they don't follow the curriculum set out for them by the schools who you pay to provide you that curriculum. But if you're a self-sufficient person, you can find the same information and materials and resources. There are people out there that were good teachers that may not have the degree to be a licensed teacher. And there are a lot of them on YouTube providing courses and classes. Hey, got that cut. Yes. Nice little curvature. You said you got that tutorial voice? Well, it's good. Good for the live streams then, I guess. I don't want to put in the effort to write scripts. That's probably the main reason why you will not see a tutorial on my channel, is that I would have to write a script. And it's not like I don't have the know-how to put together an edited video, because I used to do a lot of that with the skateboarding stuff. It's just writing the scripts, uh, getting the most important information in a concise, relaying that in a concise manner that there's art to that. So, but I would rather just ramble, talk about whatever pops into my head. Or maybe something triggers something. I'm more of a very intuitive type of artist. And there are different types of artists out there. Some that need constant guidance to feel like what they're doing is what they should be doing. And there are some that know exactly what they should be doing. Um, Not sure what is better or worse. You guys make your own choice in that. I won't tell you what to do or how to think. Even though when I was younger, I loved to do that. I was one of those kids that thought at that time like they knew everything. But I kept quiet, so but there were times when it would come out. But over time, you learn to temper that part of you. I don't give that information away freely if it's not asked for. Now, I've had many teachers in my life uh, that have helped me along my journey. So I can't say it was all me. It was solely me. I mean, I do make the choices in my life. I do steer this craft that is me, but I definitely didn't do it all on my own. Okay, we're getting real close to this one, and that means we have two others, which I don't think have the same amount of um, line cutting to do. The designs were a little bit more simpler or simple. So, but for now, I enjoy all aspects of this um, particular series of paintings, from concept to laying out that concept to the manual labor of cutting the stencils and painting the prepping and painting the backgrounds for these canvases, and then finally laying out the stencil, painting the stencil, and then the finishing touches of the outline. I enjoy each step, because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't do it. I probably would not do it. And the fun part of this is like I can continue to do it the exact same way, so it's almost like an assembly line or a factory, but I can make slight adjustments to the process so that each piece is a little bit different in some way. So I start to see the possibilities in this limitation, or these within these limited parameters that I've created for these pieces. So that's the fun part. Now, that doesn't mean I won't do my other types of work, like my illustrations or even my more figurative looking or narrative pieces. Like the one I just showed you. this this one. I can't wait to start laying out more of this. There's things I want to keep it a little bit more simple and not try to add so much information into a piece all at one time, which is my thing. I want to put everything in there. But yep, like I have this piece, this piece that was done in 2011. It's an oil painting, and it's another one of those where I'm trying to create a composition of just random elements. So you can see and all these images were taken from magazines. So each image in here was a picture from some magazine. And I just kind of laid it out into a kind of, it's similar to what I feel Melody does. If you ever seen or watched her work, her bigger paintings, the ones that she calls oh, what is it? In the infinite and or zero gravity ones, where the images are just kind of floating there in space. I have more of a background where she doesn't have a background in those pieces. It's just the objects floating in space and infinite space. So, but yeah, this was done, and I kind of like doing stuff like this, but I haven't done anything like this since probably 2011. This was me just playing around, collaging together images. Yep. And then I also used a palette knife to kind of lay out this white so that there was a little bit of thick paint, but not super thick. And I haven't really used the palette knife as much as I feel like I should, because I like the look and texture that you can get with palette knife, but I'm not as experienced with a palette knife as I am with using a brush. But yeah, it was fun. Yep. Let me put these pieces up though. I have this piece I need to do. This is also oil. This is kind of an abstract line. It's more organic. This is actually for our friend Huzzah Creative, and I've had this on hold. So when I started this, I asked them, "Hey, let's do a trade," and he was down for it. And so we set some limitations, and it was supposed to be done in like a short amount of time, and I was like, I'm not giving him this. This is garbage. But he finished his and he sent it to me. So I have the piece that he did. I have it up on my wall. It went through a couple iterations before he said it was done. And for him, I'm sure. So here's the piece that he did. And I'll get this to him. I just need to find the right moment to like get back on it and do it. But I like the simple brushwork in this. His color usage. It's a little. It's a little stale for me. or my taste, but I mean, I appreciate the work that he did. He also did collage some pieces on here. So there's some paper, there's blue tape. You can see it coming up. And then I think this was a paper towel that he used to wipe the paint on or clean paint off. Uh, when he originally started it, it was much more uh, uh, less abstract, a little more representational with the things that he had put into it, and then he went full abstract with it. He probably got tired of the painting. He was like, "Screw this," and then his I think his emotions took over, and he just like went to town, which is nice. He got out of his head, and he did. Uh, he went with his gut. So I don't know what his gut was telling us. Hey, Zaru, welcome. Pretty cool. Yeah, this is our friend Huzzah Creative painting that he made. And, oh, I didn't realize he signed it on the end here. I never noticed that. I haven't looked at the edges. See, this is something new I see all the time. But we'll see because as far as how long this will hold together, because the tape is already a little fragile. And oil paint really does a number on paper, and else over time it'll make that paper brittle, and it could crack and flake and all kinds of stuff. But you know, it is what it is, and I appreciate that he did this. You know, and I will treasure it. It might not be to some people's um, taste or liking, but I enjoy it for what it is, and I have I have a tiny collection of work by various artists. Like I have some pieces from Don Drell that I will probably never get rid of. Who knows? Maybe if somebody maybe if somebody comes to me and they offer me an exorbitant sum of money, maybe I will get rid of it. I don't know. I don't know. I get attached to things, and there's a lot of my artwork I haven't let go of. Which, when you start running out of space, becomes an issue. But I feel like nobody will treasure them like I will treasure them. So, all right. So this got a little bit more curl to it. But, yep, we're gonna start the third cutting of the four stencils that I made the other day. I just kind of want to keep moving along with this process, and just have those four canvases, because I usually spend too much time on something, and you have a tendency to let it slide for too long, as you can tell by some of the works that I have started and am only now getting back to finishing. But yeah, if I can get these four done within the next month, I'll be happy, and I'll have a collection of six of them, and I can think about doing more maybe later. Or if I was really, really serious, I would just continue along this line and not do anything else. And then I could be known as the guy that does the line, geometric line shapes. And then I would be known for that because I only wanted to do the one thing. But I know I'm not that type of artist. The undiagnosed ADHD takes over and wants to do something else because I get so bored. Maybe one day I will be able to be a little bit more, focused with the work that I do. But I don't think I'm going to be that type of artist. And maybe that'll be my success when I'm long past and people have these relics to look upon and say, oh, he was of his time when everybody wanted instant gratification and had no focus. Not saying that everybody of this generation is like that, but maybe the media hypes that up too much, and that's not really the reality. But you know, we do have a tendency to be on our phones, on the internet, on social media quite a bit. Not everybody, but a large majority of people, including myself. And then, maybe YouTube will be able to, when I'm long past, YouTube will be able to sell my content because they own the rights to it. I don't know. There will be nobody there to take ownership of my videos. So YouTube, or whoever eventually owns YouTube in the future, if it's not Google, or they'll turn me into an AI companion because they trained their system on my stuff. Or maybe we'll be an amalgam of many different people that they trained on. So it wouldn't be one particular personality, but multiple personalities that make up for somebody in the future, some lonely soul in the future, because everything, I don't want to get too apocalyptic, because everything is gone. Because we of the here and now destroyed it all, slowly helping to destroy it all. Or are the catalyst in that destruction. Is that too dark? It's not light enough for some people. Algae attack. Sorry, I saw that, Zaru, but I didn't say it out loud. But I think that's funny. It is kind of like algae, I guess. Maybe how algae forms or grows is how Emmett, aka Huzzah Creative, made that painting. Mr. Paul Ingbritson. video from 5 days ago called "The Impression is the Object." I did watch this already. I don't know why it wasn't liked. Hype this video. What's YouTube? What is this YouTube thing? Hype. Give points to your favorite video. Oh, okay. I forgot. I got 3 points to use per month to hype other people's video. YouTube, unless you're paying me to hype somebody's video, I am not doing that. Unless, does that help my algorithm? And even if it does, do I want to do that for my algorithm? How how does that affect my algorithm by helping you out, YouTube? I'm just talking to myself. I'm just rambling because nobody's in the chat saying anything or whatever. So I have to entertain myself, right? It is Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. I keep forgetting. For some reason, I had Sunday off, so it's throwing me off. I have a 4-day weekend from work, so and I should be. Besides, this should not be the priority, but I should be doing the last 4 pages, illustrating um, the activity book that they want, that the author, or not author, but the publisher wants me to have all completed by the end of March. So that is what, 7 days? Because they want to kind of get this all laid out in April and have it sent to the presses, printing presses. Here's a Dondrell-esque piece, but I haven't put anything on it other than collage. It might not make as much sense as his collage pieces, but I thought it was funny. It has a label from a package, and you could see the printing on that label has faded and is a very light brownish orange color. I think that's very cool. I don't know, something about the labels. I like using these labels for some reason. Found labels. You have um, a fortune from a fortune cookie. It says, "Your dream must be bigger than your fear." And I feel like our friend Don Drill is always speaking on this particular subject. And then I have some barcodes, another portion of the label, packaging label, mailing label, and then a label off of a can of dog food, specifically the Blue Buffalo brand. But I guess it doesn't matter. And it's all glued down on a gray spray painted background that I scratched a bunch of Cy Twombly-esque scribbles. Not that Cy Twombly invented the scribble, but he intentionally used a form of scribble / cursive mark making in his work. This is on a very tiny scale because this is an 8x10 canvas. I have some other pieces like this. They're just kind of in that limbo stage of, okay, what do I do with it? Or maybe this is what it was supposed to be when I did it, and I shouldn't do anything more to it. because I just have it around to look at it and it inspires me. Like, okay, this is how I envision Picasso and Braque when they were creating when they first came up with collage in their work, and it was something new, something that people I don't think had seen before. So even though it's nothing, it is something. It is a point of start, of beginning. I can't reach the thing I had it hanging on. Oh, and I do have a bunch of my flowers, my little eight by eight flowers. Oh, here's another one. Now this is an unopened canvas. It's still in its plastic wrap, and I just put all these different stickers and labels on that might be used for something else or might just be this is what it is. Is it art? I don't know. It's something. There's even labels on the backside of it because I wanted to use these labels like I did in that other piece. But who knows? Maybe this is the piece itself. Maybe this is saying something that even I have no clue as to what it's saying, but it might make sense to somebody else. Or it's just trash on a canvas that I should probably use. Enough derailing myself. I just like seeing that stuff around because it inspires me, gets me thinking about art and process and materials and I don't know, whatever else pops into my head. Hey, Rubbernecker. Hey, Torches. Came to like, I gotta go though. Best of stream. Thank you, Torches. I appreciate it. And happy painting to you. Thank you. I appreciate you stopping by. Hey, Rubbernecker, thank you for dropping through too. I appreciate you being in the chat. We're just having a stencil cutting session and rambling all in one. Just stream of consciousness as far as like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking to talk because I think it's some days I have nothing to say, and other days I just want to go on and on about absolutely nothing or something or both. Some people might have an issue with that. They want their streamers to be making sense while they are not making sense. Like in the monetary sense. I am not making any sense. I'm making no money off of my streams, so why should I make any sense? I used to see you at Random's channel. Yeah, I would still be in Random's channel if he did a stream. He's been on a little hiatus, I think, from live streaming, so and I don't blame him. That's the cool thing. I prefer like people be themselves and not cater to the algorithm, even though it depends on what you're trying to get out of this thing, this phenomenon called YouTube and live streaming. I refuse to let the algorithm define how I feel. So, because it can definitely affect content creators. But I come from a whole different generation that didn't grow up with um, the internet. I mean, my generation came into it, but wasn't born into it. The internet developed as my generation grew. I like watching Hi. You like watching him draw his random oddities. He's good. Yeah, random's very good. Uh, don't let his, I don't know if he even calls it his doodling, fool you. He's good. He's not just a doodler, but we all come into our own in due time, in our own time. Me, I always knew I wanted to make art, so that's what I did and do. Some people, that's not that important, and they don't let it stress them out if they're not some well known or being seen for their art. I figured way back when, since I didn't go to art school, that I wouldn't be one of those artists, even though deep down I wanted to be one of those artists. But then you start to learn more and more about what that means, and then you care less and less if you actually become that or not, because that might not be important. The fame of being an artist or being seen because of a particular thing you do. I'm what do they say? Waxing philosophic. Philosophic. It's time for the waning of the philosophical. People want to see you play the game, not talk about the game. I mean, I can't do both. These are the thoughts that go through my head. These are the thoughts that I think when I'm sitting at a desk waiting for somebody to come up for information. Why I sit there and I doodle on my iPad when I can. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind doing my day job. I like helping people. Sometimes it can be trying. It tests my patience. The patience test my patience. Man, I ran out of coffee, but it's probably why I'm rambling so much as I drink that coffee so quickly. Let me go fill up my water bottle so I can start drinking water. What time is it? My wife is off work in an hour and a half, so I think we got about that much time to continue cutting our stencils. And hopefully I can get this one and the other one cut by that time, but we'll see. All right. I probably should go rake leaves too. Rake the leaves that I didn't rake in the fall and get my garden cleaned up, at least the areas where we're gonna have flowers. I hate trying to paint those areas up and there's growth taking over. Now it's even extra work. You said, I think the cat wants you to paint on him, on the canvas. Paint the cat. It'd be fun to do some cat portraits. I actually haven't done a realistic cat portrait. I've done realistic dog portraits, and I've done cat portraits that are a little bit more cartoony or playful, and not an actual uh, realistic or naturalistic looking cat portrait. Might be time to change out my X-Acto blade because I feel like I'm having to press a little bit harder, or that's just me feeling like I need to push a little harder on it. It does put a lot of pressure on my finger here, and it'll start to hurt and make it less comfortable to want to cut stencils. That's another thing. If you use a thicker material to cut your stencils, if you're doing it by hand, you might be putting a lot more pressure on your fingers cutting. And I don't have an industrial Cricut to cut my stencils. I don't know if I'd want to have a Cricut to cut my stencils. Then I would have to make a particular file type that it uses to cut, unless it's smarter and it can do that itself. Know exactly what I want cut. Marlo is meowing up a storm. You said it's sitting so still, posing for me. Yeah. She wasn't doing that earlier when she was walking across my paper here that I was trying to cut. Right now she's watching the birds in the tree bush in front of the window. So that's good at keeping her attention instead of wanting attention from me at this time when I'm trying to cut this. Oh, speaking of it, she got bored and now she'll probably want some attention, or she's interested in what Marlo's doing. She's gonna watch our other cat. Can I get my knife back here? I like this thing. It's kind of like a Cheeto. It's like a cheese puff or whatever shape, or macaroni. It's a little arc with little bubble ends. That was one reason why I wanted the round mop shape marker. So it creates this nice round end. I think there are some more angular markers I can use to get like a 90-degree end or a flat end. I did a piece actually with some markers like that. I better put a piece in this corner before that corner ends up getting clipped, bent. Trying to keep these as clean as possible. Like these long, almost straight lines when you cut. If it's wobbly, if it's drawn wobbly, you could still get a nice, pretty clean cut with an X-Acto. This is why I like the kind of almost mechanical look, almost like a silk screen. You know, to get these nice edges, nice, clean, straight edges when I add them to my canvases. Since the background is kind of organically abstracted, this is it makes for a good contrast to these near computer generated forms. Uh-oh, I think I bumped that out too much. Yep, I am definitely going to need a new blade here because this is getting dull. I can feel it kind of tearing the paper versus sliding through and slicing. Plus the end already looks like a nub. There's got to be a way. I'm probably just need to spend time to see if I can actually sharpen those blades. It's like, yeah, it's nice to have new blades, but man, you start going through those blades quite a bit. And it's like, really? That's it for that blade? I can't sharpen this blade? Hey, Rubbernecker, have a good day. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. And you said, please like and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate that also. And you said, pretty cat, by the way. It's the X-Acto knife blades. Like I'd have to have like some kind of grinding stone or something, or like a wet stone. I guess if you had a wet stone, you might be able to do that too. But the edges are so finely formed. If you do it by hand, it might make the blade a little wavy. They don't snap. No, they're pretty good. Yeah. And I usually try to make sure I have extra blades laying around. Just buy them from Michael's. Or if you have some other kind of art store, like Blick or somewhere. Or you can get other knives like at the hardware store that are not quite the X-Acto knife, but could be used to cut All right, Rubbernecker, you too. Have a good day. Thank you again for stopping through. I appreciate you being here. Made the chat a little bit more lively. You take care. Hopefully, I'll catch you again in another live stream or somebody else's live stream. I like seeing the same people here and there. It's nice when you see them in a stream that you might not um, expect to see somebody that you see in other streams, and you're like, "Oh, hey." All right. So I know I have a container with all the old blades in it, so I'm not just throwing them away. I don't know where that went. Um, oh, here it is. I got this yogurt cup with old one. Yeah, yeah. I have this one. This is the old dispenser, and then it even has its own little. When you're done with it, you slide the blade in there, and it has a little spot to hold all the old blades. Revell. I think this is like Revell is like a model company. They produce models like cars and stuff, planes. I don't know where I got that 'cause I don't remember ever doing any models, or at least not since I was a kid. And I tried to do a balsa model of a Japanese Zero and used tissue paper, had like the blade with the rubber band, so you'd wind it up and you toss. I think I had got it all done, and I got it all done and built, and it had the blade. It went to fly it the very first flight, and then it it flew a little bit, and then it crashed, and then it broke. You spend all that time on it, putting together the model plane, and then the first flight, it's done. And as a kid, you're not thinking like maybe I should just keep this around for posterity or something. You're just like, ooh, I built this. I want to see if it flies, and it flies, and then it crashes and breaks. So I shouldn't have to push down too hard on this because I can feel it grabbing my cutting surface underneath here. So I have a cutting mat, and it's actually might be actually time for a new one because a friend of mine drilled a hole in it, and there's a lot of cuts in it. So when I'm cutting, it might grab one of those areas that are already cut. But I get, like I said before, I get attached to certain things, and I'm like, I don't want to let it go just yet. It still functions. It might cause some issues here and there, but it still functions. As long as I'm not pushing into it too hard, it works. But I have been wanting to get a larger one because, like, these papers that I cut these stencils out of are a little bit bigger, and I have to pay attention to how big the mat is or where I'm cutting in relation to where the mat is and the size of that mat, so I don't accidentally go off the edge and then cause a little blurb in the line because of that. I blurbed the line. Thanks, guys, for the 13 likes. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are getting something out of this stencil making. If it were a tutorial, it would be me start to finish in a shorter amount of time, cutting the stencil and then actually using the stencil or applying the stencil and then using the stencil all in one session. So you get a better sense of the process, but I am not making a tutorial. I'm showing you in real time what it's like, what it takes. And making something takes a little patience because you might spend some time cutting something that you want. Not everything is done in time lapse in real time. It does take time to do something. So if you don't have patience, you might have a hard time doing something like this. Uh, the important thing is the fun, the joy of doing something and not being too concerned with how much time, unless you're like, it's a project that has a deadline. But, it should be enjoyable. Like, building a model. Some people look at that and be like, "Ah, why would you bother? It's a waste of time. You can be doing something more productive, more benefiting society." It's like, why should society have my time? What has society done that it should have my time? I already contribute to society by working and paying taxes. Why should it have my free time, my off time? Man, it is a very philosophical day today. What's today? March 24th. Man, just cutting that that line was so much fun. I enjoyed it. It- that sense of accomplishment, like, oh, I made that line, cut that line, and I cut more and more lines, and then it becomes this stencil, and then I use that stencil, and that stencil helps me to create the painting that I put up on my wall, and I can enjoy that painting every time I look at it, and it gives me something to think about and what may come of that. Looking at that painting might trigger or inspire something else, and some other project or something. Who knows? Maybe it inspires somebody else, and they find the cure to cancer because of this piece. I don't know. It's very grandiose of me, but or audacious of me to assume, but possibilities are there. Oh, did I not cut that? Okay, I thought I cut this other side. I did not cut this other side yet. Just love how X-Actos do curves. I mean, I could really butcher this if I wanted to. And maybe when I first started doing stencils, I did that, but I doubt it because it's very similar to drawing. But in this case, I'm following a line versus actually drawing the line. So that's another thing. And that's where tracing something comes in handy because if you're doing a stencil, it's pretty much like you're tracing this line. But I'm also refining the line that I made because that line might be quite unrefined because of the tool that I used to make that. But the X-Acto, when cutting that line, even though I'm loosely following a line, it creates this new potential, new line potential, one that is a little bit more refined. Okay, we got a few more cuts and that's for this one, and then we do this kind of fishy loop one. But yeah, this is another. Did I already cut this? This is another long cut. So let's do that. You might be asking, oh, how do you know where to go? How do you make that long cut in the first place if you can't see where you're going? That is a lot of practice in that. That's why drawing can be kind of important. Drawing lines. This is why a lot of people do a very staccato line, a very hatched line, because they can't draw, they can't pull a long single line in one go. And it's not easy. It's still not easy. That's why I do that's why I do a staccato hatched line. A staccato-esque line. Because then I know I can go back and refine that by going over it. You can always go over that line with the second line because you have something to follow. So there is merit in learning how to trace because your initial line might not be that refined. But, you know, some things don't require a refinedness to it. Okay, but these, a stencil, I want a clean, nice clean line, not jaggedy unless I want jagged, a serrated look, which would be far more work than I would probably want to do, but who knows, maybe somebody wants a serrated look line. I want it to look like it was generated, computer generated. That was kind of the inspiration. That is the realism in this work. Not in the sense of, oops, uh-oh. Make sure I follow particular line that I drew, maybe one of these days I'll just follow exactly what I drew initially and not try to refine it. That would also be interesting to see. That would be even more realism. The reality of the line that was initially made. But then it would just be an impression because that is what I'm doing here. The impression of the original line that I drew through a stencil process. Oops. That piece of tape. Make sure these fall exactly where it was cut. So how's everybody doing today on this Tuesday? Maybe Wednesday for some people. Maybe it's Wednesday night, Wednesday middle of the night. I guess it depends on where you're at on the globe, on this earth. Okay, almost there. I should do the inner piece. Do the inner line. So in stenciling, this is what they would call an island because it has no connection with the main body of the stencil. It's just floating in space. I better tape it down though before I finish it. What else? Well, I hope that matches up with this line here. It looks like it does. It's not guaranteed to be in line with that other end of the line. It's supposed to be. If this is offset, it just makes this look weird. Or if this is offset from this, either way, it starts to look weird. Like you just lost that continuation of the line because it's not in line. The ends aren't in line. In line. The in line. Same with this part here. Okay. Yeah, I have to turn this around. I always want to get the right angle, the most comfortable position for cutting. That's why I'm constantly turning the paper. You might be like, why do you do that? Well, it gives me the best position to make a good cut. I don't want no awkward position. Sometimes if it's a table you can walk around, you can also move the body to get the right positioning, but most of the time It's turning the paper. Because convenience and comfortability. Comfortability. Ease of comfort. Okay, we're close. We might just be able to get that other stencil cut. I'll have an hour to cut it. Let's see, what else is on YouTube? Anybody? Any videos? Oh man. Okay, there's a few. There's a few. Melody was on for a short period of time. Let's see. She's got some plants in her studio. Oh, we'll watch her work on her bowl. Or Malinois. Sorry, my ADHD is kicking in. Oh, or give the cat some attention. Hi, Kitty. You want some attention? Okay. We'll save Melody's video for a little later. And since Malin is streaming, we'll just hang out with her for a bit. Kitty cat, what are you doing? What am I cutting? I'm trying to cut this. Don't put your foot anywhere near where I'm cutting. We'll slice your toe off. Please. Please. Toe slicing time. Watch out. It's toe slicing time. Watch out. This is how I trim your nails. You just want to put your butt in my face. Come here, you. Come here. Come here. I got you. Yes. We got you. Oh, sweet kitty cat. How you doing? How you doing, sweet cat? Sweet kitty cat. Dude, please don't claw me. Ow. Ow. Dude, don't do that. I am not a tree. I'm not a tree. When I'm just wearing a t-shirt and she does that, that is extra painful. That's so cool. Now you're going to put that on a canvas. Yep. What's the cat's name? Her name is Kire. That is K-R-K-I, not K-R, K-I-R-E-I. Kire. Like Key and Ray. Kire. Except the R is kind of an L sound because it's Japanese. Warning, no cats were hurt in those videos. Yep, we don't actually trim cats' toes with our X-Acto knife. But the artist is hurt because she is digging her claws into my shoulder. So all artists are hurt in this live stream by their cat, by their cute cat. But people will overlook that because of the cuteness of the cat. And that's what cats do. Cats, cats, cats. Hey, Oscar, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Having a great day. We appreciate you stopping through and saying hello. You said Aquarius. I haven't cut my cat's nails and so on. I haven't cut my cat's nails ever. Thank you for the hearts, Oscar. I appreciate that. You take care of yourself and have a great rest of your day. It's been 2 years. My cat, this cat is maybe 7 years old. Never trimmed her nails. She trims her nails in my flesh. Right? Don't you? She's just hanging out in my arms. Your cat is mean. I guess if you got a mean cat, I can't say any of our cats are mean. Uh, but then again, I don't do things to tease them to make them mad at me. Some cats are just mean, and you don't need to tease them at all. But we have pretty good cats. I love all my cats. They get each of them get uh, attention from me, so they come back. They come back because they know their dad is a cat dad. Cat dad. Or maybe they look at me like their mother. I'm the cat mother. Yep, I feed you guys. I clean the litter box. I uh, give you attention when you need the attention. We don't do a whole lot of playing, right? He wants his food. That's it. Yeah, my cat is Garfield. Nice. Garfield, I guess he was mean. He was mean to Nermal. That's beautiful. Thank you. A E A. She's like, man, this is the most time I've gotten to spend in your arms in a while. With you cutting cutting your whatever you're doing there on the table. I don't care. I don't care what you're doing on that table. But you're on my table. This is my table. This is the table that I own. I own this table. You think this is your work table? No, this is my table. This is my territory. Right, Kia? Or Kia. I think call her Kia. Kire. They say cats have intuition and dogs have wisdom. Yeah, I could see that. Do all dogs have wisdom? Or they're just dogs and we assign them that we project onto them what we think. But dogs know if you're if you're a POS, they might not come to you. But some dogs you know, might not care about that, or they tolerate the I don't want to say owner, but if that person more caretaker, you're caretaker of that animal if they hang with you. Hey, Dondrell Lee is on. We gotta go to Dondrell Lee. Dondrell, where you at? Oh, why did it say Don? Oh, he's playing the video. I thought he was going live. He's playing the video that pre-made or pre I don't know if pre started a new YouTube. What was he calling himself? Holy something. We just groove to the song. Right, kitty? Let's groove. Mm, 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 mm. You said, do you see the dog that on the mat? Oh, I haven't seen that, but I see those videos where they people have those little things that you press and it says something. I've seen a lot of those videos, and sometimes I wonder if those are edited in any way, like they edit in the sounds that they want the viewer to hear, or if those are actually programmed in and the dog kind of understands, but who knows? Who knows how much how how rich a dog's understanding of the human vocabulary. I'm sure they understand certain things after a certain amount of training. Oh boy, she sees some birds now. You got tired of me holding you. Now she wants me to pet her. I will pet you. Yes. We'll pet the cat. And oh, the Tats crew is live. Tats crew is live. The Tats crew is a graffiti crew out of New York City. They have been around for forever, probably since the 70s. Who knows? I don't know if they were the Tats crew in the 70s at that time, but that's as far as I know since the 80s. I think that's probably what they've gone by. But who knows? But they do a lot of mural work as well as, well, over the years. Dude, get off of me. Go, go. Come on. I'm trying to. So yeah, it looked like Dondrell just posted that video, that pre-made. Where's this Tats Crew thing, man? I want to see what they're. And for real, I just saw I saw the notification for it. Why am I not seeing it? Really? Oh, it's on Instagram. It's on Instagram. Wait. Okay. Wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't. Don't wait. Okay, we have one, well, probably two more cuts to make. But if I do this right, I can do it in one cut. But I'm not going to do that. I know I will screw it up. I will screw it up. Better to make two. And just like that, guys, we have knocked out another one. We knocked it out. Okay. Okay. And one more to go. Wait. Oh, we went 6 minutes in to the hour. That is 6 minutes we took away from cutting the last stencil. So we'll see if I can get it done in an hour. Okay, there is some real estate as far as amount of line cut on this one, but a lot more distance, open distance versus all the twists and turns, right? All the twists and turns. Hey, Laura. Humans make life hard for everything. Humans as well. For sure. For sure. Hey, you. My cat is making things hard for this human, though. How you doing, Laura? Good to see you in the chat. You said, "Oh man, you came in a while back. You think we can get demoted? Oh, hold on a second. Demoted as animals from human to animal? Maybe. Demoted cats are much higher life form. Yeah, maybe being a cat is an upgrade. If you can be any animal, what would you be? Jeez, something with a short lifespan. I don't know. A worm? The worm's not an animal. Uh, they are much better at survival than us. Well, yes, but they have to exist in this human construct because that's what we say. I mean, just look at they gotta avoid if you're out there in the world, you gotta avoid traffic because most people aren't gonna hit their brakes. Well, maybe most people hit their brakes if they see an animal, but I see a lot of roadkill out here. I haven't seen as many cats, but yeah, you see a lot of roadkill. Raccoons, possums, deer, a lot of squirrels for sure. But humans are just another animal, even though we like to think we're not an animal. Hey, you. Um, Stop. I got this sharp knife in my hand. Come here. Come here. I don't want you to get accidentally stabbed because you're being super, super needy. I don't need to be stabbing my cat on a live stream. YouTube might ban my channel. Ban my channel. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll listen to this Hanny Talks. Henny Talks has a video they released 11 hours ago. Stories of Art, Jean Michel Basquiat, 80s art superstar. Like, I haven't heard everything already on the internet. Okay, take that down. Thank you guys. One more like added. We're at 14. I appreciate it. I'm assuming that was you, Laura. How's the battle? The battle for finishing your commission, Laura. Laura, have you able to settle on something? Sometimes you just have to go with whatever because you don't got the time to think about it. And who knows, it may be right, may be wrong for the situation or the moment, but I feel like the more you go through that, the more you start to trust in your instincts and just do what you need to do. I don't think one piece of art will satisfy everybody. So if that's a concern or a worry, as far as if you feel that some people won't get the art or feel that it's appropriate for a particular thing, that's the cool thing about art. I mean, it's the artist's interpretation. I'm very terrible with advice or suggestions, so don't listen to me. What do I know? I don't know what I'm talking about. This line here is getting pretty out of control as far as maintaining a certain line thickness. I think it's fat in some areas, and yeah, like I could tell already. I have to redraw a portion. Okay, where's my white pencil? Where is my pencil? I'm gonna want to sharpen it a little bit. Your mud still going? Sometimes I think I miss the little the little sound that notifies me that my earbud is dying or has died. But if so, hold on. Let me just switch it out just in case, because it'll probably be dying soon, anyways. Maybe dying. Everyone, no stream today. What? Not great weather and a dinner plan came up. Oh, I'm being a badly boy. But I guess he streamed yesterday for in the morning. I think he said all week was going to be Twitch streams only, no YouTube. On YouTube, there won't be any this week, but there might be streams on Twitch. But I just got the notification saying he's not streaming today. The conditions must be his links on his. The oil paints that I am currently using are made by him, and they're really nice. It's are very pigmented. He's not trying to add fillers or a whole lot of fillers. If he has to add some kind of fillers or other additives to help the paint maintain its quality. Oh, geez. Let's see. Okay. I don't think Laura has a YouTube. And why did my earbud switch over to this iPad, not my other iPad? And come on, go back and catch up to my live. Sorry, guys. I was missing some chats. Laura says, sorry, I was AFK. I don't have a YouTube, just Instagram. I'll follow. What's the Instagram if you want to share? Love art. Swan05. Is that what your handle was, Laura? Sorry, I missed those because my chat wasn't updating or scrolling down. Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Did I put? Okay. Okay. Quickly put some eggs on. Boil some eggs for a salad. And I'm only gonna do four. I ain't doing a whole bunch of eggs. Don't get eaten. Don't get eaten while I make them. All right. All right. There we go. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right. And then set timer. 17. There we go. Let's see. All right. All right, guys. Coming down the wire. Let's see. Back to YouTube. Okay, okay. What? Come on, you. There we go. Yes. Phone's got these stupid. All right. Let's see. I should probably start. Since it'll probably take to cook. I shouldn't be so disappointed I have to stop. Some people would be glad they have to stop, but me, no. Keep going. All I want to do is continue the process. So, let me make a few more cuts. Make a few more cuts. I got messed up. Thanks, Laura. I didn't realize something. The stream went kaput. So I've started to see this spinning wheel or arrow of death. Since I have the day off, hopefully we'll be back. Watch them. Probably just leave it at that spot. And, wrap up the string. Wrap it up. B. Wrap it up. Well, Dave Chappelle reference for y'all. Wrap it up, B. We got about half, well, not quite halfway. A little shy of halfway. We'll be back later, hopefully. And I just came back. I'm gonna move this one so that our cat doesn't mess it up. I got snacks over here. All right, guys, we're gonna sign off. We're gonna sign it off. All these fortune cookies. Let's go through our list. Wait, is it even gonna go back that far? Here we go. Oh my god. What the hey? Let me. Are we back? Are we back? Thank you, Travis, for letting me know that. I appreciate it, especially when I'm doing all the shout outs. I'm about to finish the stream and I'm shouting out um, people in the chat. Nobody can hear me. All right, let's do that over again. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Aquarius Gem, aka A Electric Aura. Thank you, Zarumpelstiltskin. Thank you, Torches Art. Thank you, Rubbernecker. Thank you, Oscar. And thank you, Laura, Des Art. And thank you, Travis at Trap House 1981. Thank you guys for dropping by in the chat and following the progress of some more line artwork. Line artwork. But we'll be back on later. Thank you for the likes, any subs, I appreciate. And Kire appreciates you guys letting me go so that she can give me all kinds of attention. All right. Y'all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or middle of the night, wherever you're at in the world. And until next time, enjoy this gray, drab day as I sign off. All right, guys. Bye for now. Peace.